Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Alright, so if you're new here, my name is Deja Monique and I am having a Bible study. So I try to post every Wednesday and we just talk about different scriptures in the Bible, different themes, different topics, and we just go from there. So I do hope these words, these scriptures, what I'm talking about today helps someone in their walk of faith, whether you are a newborn Christian, whether you have already dedicated your life to God, whether you're rededicating your life to God, just like I have in the last few months, or whether you are just trying to understand who God is, understand what being a Christian is. This is for you, okay? So let's just go ahead and get into today's video. As you can see by the title, we are going to be talking about the different ways to speak on a Christian standpoint, okay? So I do have a lot of scriptures to go with each little topic that I'm going to discuss, and I will be paraphrasing a lot of these scriptures, so please just stay with me. So you want to remind yourself that the way that you speak, well, first off, your tongue, there's so much power in the tongue, okay? You really, truly speak life and or death with your tongue, okay? You can either speak life into someone or death into someone. You can speak life within yourself or death within yourself. You can speak life within the things that you want to do in your future or death over the things that you want to do in the future. It's completely up to you. So you want to make sure that when you are speaking, you're speaking with peace. Your speech is filled with joy. Your speech is filled with grace, okay? You don't want to speak negative. And I've talked about this and talked about this and talked about this. The way that you speak over yourself, the way that you think over yourself, it says a lot. So you either want to, you got to change your mindset and you have to change the way that you speak, okay? So let's get into the different ways of speech, okay? So this is anger, all right? You want to respond gently to anger, okay? Now, from speaking on myself, I'm a very calm human being. I don't like to be angry, and I used to say, when I know when I get angry, I could be very disrespectful. So I try not to be angry. But even then, or when I do get angry, I have to remind myself to be gentle. I have to remind myself that not everything needs a reaction, especially not a negative reaction, okay? So, anger, this is from Proverbs 15, verse 1. And remember, I'm paraphrasing, so I'm not really, I wrote these scriptures down, I studied what they are or were, or what I took from it. So, I'm paraphrasing a lot of these scriptures. So, Proverbs 15, verse 1. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. I mean, you ever notice or seen or realize that when someone is angry, they're either shouting at you or they're just going off, and you ever seen someone, they just sit there, and that them sitting there in silence make that person even more angry to the point to where they just give up and walk away. But when that person's arguing back, it's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then it just turns into probably an altercation, which we really don't need that. You don't need that in your life. So allowing yourself to either just look, either listen, ignore, that's going to turn away that person. They're going to be like, okay, well, I look stupid here arguing with them because they're just sitting there. I am the one that looks dumb, okay? So, just sometimes you gotta let go and let God handle the situation. You just sit there, look pretty, sit there, enjoy life, because at the end of the day, that other person is going to look dumb arguing with no one, okay? All right, another verse for this topic, anger. James 1, verse 19-20. Swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. The wrath of the man does not produce the righteousness of God. I'll read it one more time. swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. The wrath of man does not produce the righteousness of God. So swift to hear, you're listening. You can hear what that person's saying. You just let them talk. Let it go in one ear, out the other, okay? Or you can take it in. But more so, if they're just arguing, if they're just mad, a lot of times some people are really just taking their anger out on you. They have a lot going on in their life, and they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to fix it themselves. So they rather just take it out on you. So let it go in one ear, out the other. Be slow to speak. Be slow to have a comeback. Be slow to respond. You don't always have to respond. Okay, you have to remember, wrath does not bring God glory. Wrath, being angry, does not make God happy. Where are you going to get out of that? Nothing. It's best sometimes just to be silent. It's best sometimes to let just God handle the situation. Okay? All right. Next one is truth. Okay? Be truthful and being loving. Be truthful and being loving. All right? So Ephesians 4:15. Speaking with the truth in love may grow up in all the things into him when God is head. I'm going to read that again. Speaking the truth in love may grow up in all things into him who is head, Christ. All right? When you tell the truth, this isn't part of the scripture, but when you tell the truth, do it in a caring, compassionate, constructive, criticism type of way. Being truthful can go a long way. Being truthful can help. I was teaching Sunday school yesterday to a few kids, and we were talking about how it's better to be truthful and face the consequences than to lie and face those consequences. I mean, how many times have you ever really gotten in trouble and you just been straight up honest with a person, or with your parents, or at your job, or wherever the case may be, and instead of you getting a harsh punishment, it was more of like a slap on the wrist. It was a slap on the wrist, and that's the thing. I would rather someone be truthful to me than lie about something and it hurts. It breaks. I've told that to a lot of people. And I've told that to people that, I would communicate with. I would rather you just be straight up with me than to lie and hide things. Okay? I would rather much take the truth than a lie. So when you are being truthful, just make sure you are being, like I said, compassionate, caring, and make sure that you're giving more constructive criticism rather than harsh criticism. Okay, there's different ways that you can be truthful without hurting someone's feeling, and that's where the loving part comes in. You can tell someone the truth and be blunt with someone without crushing them, without hurting them. Okay, you have to really think that through before you actually speak the truth. Okay. Read again. Ephesians 4:26. Put away lying, speak with truth with your neighbor. We are members of one another. Yeah, we are all made by God. We are all the same, but we're not all the same. Like, we are all children of Christ. Well, if we're not, we all should be. But we are all here on this earth. Why lie? I never get why someone would lie. Which, I mean, again, you lie so you're either not hurting someone, so you're not getting in trouble, so to benefit you most of the time. You're lying to benefit you. Well, why do it? Why not just be truthful? And yet, I would rather receive a slap on the wrist for being truthful than lie and go to hell. Okay? So let's just be truthful, but make sure you're also being in a loving, compassionate, peaceful way that's not tearing someone down. For instance, we are working on church etiquette at church, and there we were talking about how the mothers of the church can help the younger women of the church show up every day. Make sure that we're dressing modest, especially when we go to church. Make sure that we're acting accordingly. And we were just talking about how, some people don't come to you in such a manner that should be pleasing, that it is like, you don't need to wear that dress again. It's too revealing. It shows too much. It's too tight. They don't know how to come to you in a respectful way. Some people don't. But there was an occasion when what was it called? We were having tent revival. And, we were having tent revival. My children had soccer practice. I was a coach, so I wore shorts to soccer practice, of course. And so right after that, I came straight to church for tent revival. Now, were my shorts too revealing? No, but they were shorts. They're shorts, okay? And, I'm not the thickest girl in the world, but there's some stuff back there. And, I got some thighs a little bit. But anyways, I was walking down, and one of the elders in the church, or one of the women in the church, she pulled me to the side and she was just like, "Hey, you got no shorts, babes." And I was like, "I know, we just came from soccer practice, da-da-da." And she was like, "Girl, we were just talking about this in church, in Sunday school, you should have bought a skirt, you should have bought some pants." And I was like, "You're absolutely right." I didn't take that as in her being hateful and her being rude or her being mean or anything like that. She literally came to me. She didn't call me out in front of everybody. She pulled me to the side as I was walking by and straight up told me, like, "You don't need to wear that." That right there is being truthful. That right there is also being loving. That right there is also what we need in the world. Okay? We need constructive, loving, truthful criticism that's not going to hurt someone's feelings. She didn't call me out. She didn't point me out and be like, "Girl, why you got on them shorts?" That right there is truthful. But at the same time, that could have been a little hurting. That could have been embarrassing for me. You know what I mean? So we just need more of that in the world, babes. We just need more loving, truthful, peaceful, calm, constructive criticism. Okay? So you want to make sure that when you are speaking, you're speaking with love, and you're speaking with truth, and you're speaking not to hurt, but to actually give that person knowledge. Okay? So actually give that person love. Alright? Moving on. Alright. Next up is wisdom. Okay? You want to speak wise. You want to speak advice. You want it to be true good advice. Okay? And yeah, so let me do the let me do the scripture. Proverbs 15, and I'm pretty sure this is, hold on. Let me make sure this is 7 or 1. Proverbs 15. Because that's not it. Alright, it's Proverbs 15:7. Be wise. Wise people hold knowledge, but the heart of the fool does not. Okay? Wise people hold knowledge, but the heart of a fool holds no knowledge. Okay? You want to make sure that before you open your mouth, you are not giving out lies. You're not giving out something that's not going to help someone else grow. I know that anytime I give advice, majority of the time it's a testimony. I can't give someone that's married, is it marital? I don't know. I can't give someone that's married advice. Baby, I've never been married. I've never been married, so how am I going to help you get through your relationship and I'm not married? Now, I can give a new mother advice. I can give an expecting mother advice because I have 2 children. You know what I mean? Now, it's either she's going to take it and benefit from it, or she's not going to take it. She's going to take what I did give her and probably either incorporate it into her own way, or she's just going to have to learn on her own. But at the same time, I can give her advice because I've already been through that. Okay? I know what's going on. Now, I can't give... Now, if, for instance, if a woman that's older than me, I'm 27, so say a 35-year-old comes to me and she's like, hey, can you give me makeup advice? Your makeup looks good. I can give her that, you know? Or she comes to me and just like, hey, I've seen that you struggled with this, that, and the third. How did you get through it? I can help her with that, okay? But if someone comes to me that's, let's say, a drug addict, or let's say that's going through something else that I've never been through, I can't truly give them advice. I would be a fool to give them advice because I've never been through that. I don't have any knowledge of that. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that when you are giving advice, when you are giving wisdom to someone, you're really speaking from your own testimony. Okay, it's not all about you, but at the same time, you are taking what you've been through to give them knowledge and give them a perspective, so that when they go through it, or if they are going through it and you've been through it, you can help them get through it you can help them get through it. Okay, and just a definition of being wise, because I felt like being wise was just like knowing all. That's what I thought being wise was. I thought being wise was knowing all. But really being wise means having good judgment. Having good judgment. And not go out there and judge other people for what they're wearing or what they have. But it's more so making sure, again, that you're giving advice and you're giving love and you're giving wisdom and you're giving knowledge to something or someone that you can't sit and judge because you've been through it. I feel like that makes sense. Okay? So just make sure that when you're being wise, you speak with advice and you speak with good truth. Okay? So moving on. No wholesome language. Ephesians 4:29. Do not allow corrupt words to come out of your mouth, but with good gesture that impacts grace to the hearers. Okay? So again, I am paraphrasing. That's Ephesians 4:29. And from that, I was like, I took in, don't be out here again speaking death, speaking negative over anything. Don't allow it to come out of your mouth. Okay? You want to make sure that whatever comes out of your mouth, you're giving grace to whoever's listening. You are giving peace to whoever's listening. All right? That's whether you're giving a speech. That's whether you're just giving advice. That's whether you're just having a conversation with someone random, a friend, family, whatever. You don't want to allow nothing negative to come out of your mouth. Again, the power of life and death relies in your tongue. Your tongue holds so much weight. Your tongue is so powerful. If you speak nothing but positive over your life, majority of the time that's going to come to you. Not saying that you're not going to go through some stuff, but while you're going through it, speak positive. Speak, I know God's going to handle this situation. I know God's going to get me out. I know God is a way maker. I know God is going to heal whatever I'm going through right now. Okay? You got to speak truth, not nag, not complain, not, oh my God, this again, why me? Okay? And then, even then, you gotta stop speaking negative. You gotta stop with the I'm broke, I can't, I don't, I won't, I will, I can. Okay? You gotta let all of the negative words stop flowing from your mouth. You gotta stop it. Okay? Alright, and then you want to speak with grace. And you have to speak with grace. And then I took from that also, it's just like no cussing. My grandma says this all the time. Saying cuss words mean that you have a limited vocabulary. And by all means, my vocabulary is very large, okay? I would rather sit and think about something before I say it and before I allow cuss words to come out of my mouth. Now, in the past, my mouth used to be very bad. Used to be horrible. Okay? But now I'm learning not to speak like that. I'm learning not to think like that. Now, from time to time, again, I am a work in progress. I am not perfect. Have words slipped out of my mouth? Yes. But again, I am working on not allowing that to happen again. Okay? And it's crazy because day and day goes by and I'm like, I did not say not one bad word. I did not say not one negative thing today. And I love that for me. Okay? We talk about affirmations before. You have to speak truth and love and grace into your life, and not only into yours but to others. You don't know who's hearing you speak. Okay? You don't know who's listening. Okay? Just because you're having a conversation with your best friend at the coffee shop doesn't mean someone at that next table can't hear what you're saying. Okay? It can either bless them or it could just be another caseload of drama for them. Okay? So make sure that anytime you're speaking with peace, you're speaking with love, you're speaking life. Okay? You want to speak life into your future, not death into your future, not negative into your future. You have to start speaking life into your future. Start saying your affirmations. Start waking up in the morning and be like, I can do this. I can get to the day. And that's another thing I learned was once I get up and I know I'm dreading going to work, I get to work. I get to make money. I get to go to work. I get to see people because I don't know what child I'm going to run into that may need to either see my smile, hear my smile, just have that good morning because, again, you don't know what someone's going through. Okay? So, you just have to make sure that you are speaking love, life, peace, and you're not allowing corrupt words to come out of your mouth at all. All right? Last but not least, wait. Now, you may be like, how is wait a part of speech? Wait for the right time and the right place to speak. Okay? Proverbs 23. Proverbs 15:23. A man has joy by the way he speaks, a word spoken in the right season. A man has joy by the way he speaks, a word that is spoken in the right season. Okay? Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 7. There's a time to speak, or there's a time to keep silence, and there's a time to speak. Sometimes it's best just to sit there. I don't know about you, but I've been told a lot of times, wow, you're really quiet at first. Wow, you're really quiet. Are you shy? Are you this? When in reality, I'm listening. I'm listening to what's going on. I'm listening to the conversations. Because one, my discernment starts to kick in. And it's just like, okay, this is what we're dealing with. You know, it's like, oh, okay, this is the crowd. Oh, okay, you're these type of people. You know what I mean? And even then, it's just like, oh, okay, you're these type of people. Okay, I feel the joy. You know, I feel the peace. I hear what you're saying. You're not gossiping. You're literally speaking life. You're not talking about someone. You're talking about a business plan. You're not talking down on someone. You're talking about the future and how you want to save and how you want to invest. That's what you're talking about. That's the vibe. That's what I'm hearing. There's a time to speak. And sometimes, even when you're with a friend, even when you're with someone, you don't always have to speak. Allow that person to vent, because sometimes God's going to put you into someone's life and you actually just may be a healer for them. Okay? You actually just may be their backbone. You actually just might be a wall that they can lean against, a shoulder to cry on, and even vice versa. They may be that for you, but if you are holding up and you are talking, and you're not allowing that person to speak, how are you going to help them? How are you going to be a part of God's calling for them if all you're doing is talking about your life? No, babes. Sometimes it's best to hush and allow that person to vent so you can help heal them. Okay? Allow that person to get out what they need to say so you can see what they're going through, so you can use your testimony to help them get through what they're going through. Okay? Sometimes it's best to allow a person to speak so you know it's at this time, it's time for me to cut you out of my life. Okay? Because if you're trying to talk and you can't hear what they have to say, how will you really know that it's time for them to leave? How would you really know that their season in your life has ended? You won't. Stop talking. Listen. Okay? Find the right time to say something. That's all I got. But if you can hear all that ruckus upstairs, it's because my kids are waking up. I try to get up early, but I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was being lazy and I was procrastinating. And that's so me, because I could have got through this whole video without being interrupted. But it's okay. I have to learn from my mistakes. But I'm gonna go ahead and close out the video here. I hope I was able to help someone. Please make sure before you speak, you are thinking. You know, you don't want to speak with anger. You want to speak with peace. You want to speak with wisdom. You want to speak with joy. There's so much power that lies in your tongue. And you want to make sure that you're speaking more life into you, into your future, into your children, into your family, into your spouse. Okay? You want to make sure you're speaking more life than you are speaking death. So, yeah, I'm going to close out the video here. And I'll see you in my next Bible study.